about it, though. 9 times out of 10, if you really need something that quick, then you're not gonna wait online. It's a process that goes with it. But if you need like the immediacy of things, if you want to go and take care of things like right then, you're gonna have to deal with people. Unfortunately,
I believe you because before we started this podcast today, we asked him to stop by a store to get something, and boy, you sounded.
Yeah, he
You
did.
sound
Man,
distraught.
He said, if I get there and they don't have it, I'm gonna be pissed off.
Yes, man. It's just the whole.
And he went from what's up, Jeb? And at the end of the conversation, he's like, all right. I was like,
Y'all don't understand, man. Y'all just don't understand, man.
I said, oh.
I wish you would. It was one of those you had to be there type situation, but you had to be there every time because it's always the same process every single time I get there. I'm gonna get there. I'm gonna try to find something.
You need to heal from a cashier. What's her name?
Who's that? No, man. I'm just saying. Like, let's be honest about it. Okay, so 9 times out of 10, you're gonna go to Wally World, right, or Target or something like that, and you're not gonna find the employee. Let's be honest. Yeah. So you're really searching for shit yourself the whole time. You walk around looking for things. You don't know where it is. Now you're frustrated. You finally find somebody. Guess what? They're helping somebody else out. Okay, cool. You wait on that whole situation. You do all that stuff for 15, 20 minutes, and you find out, oh, yeah, we don't have it available. You have to order it. So I guess it goes back to the argument. I just might as well just stay at home. Right. Just order some shit at the house.
Yeah. Listen, Amazon Prime is my friend. Same day, next day delivery.
Facts.
Yeah.
So you one of the people that got the front porch is filled with shit all the time.
Well, that's not my choice. But yes. Yes.
It's like, just load it up to the garage with the rest of the stuff.
Yes. So obviously you need to heal. So what does healing look like?
I don't know, man. I think for me personally, just really getting away from people. You know what I'm saying?
Like in total?
Yeah, man. I have this. I know it's kind of toxic, dog. Like I'll be going through shit, but I don't necessarily want to bring everybody else in. You know what I mean? I think I know a lot of people like that. Mostly men. Like we don't really like to be very open like that. If we're dealing with something, we like, I deal with it. It is what it is. I think that's a conditioning thing though too. You know what I mean? When you're younger, you don't cry about shit. It's like, if you got a problem, you got an issue, you figure it out. You don't necessarily have to go and consult with mama and daddy. That happens to a smaller degree when you're younger, but not so when you're adult. It's like, hey, you're going to you're an adult pretty soon, so you need to be able to figure these things out. And so I think that I carried that over, which is, now that I think about it, it's probably not as healthy, not being able to use people as a resource, that type of thing. But I feel like as an adult now, I see it, and then I'm still kind of stuck in it. It's hard to kind of shed that a little bit. So I noticed that just about myself, period. So healing for me, I would think, is just kind of like doing just that, finding things that are going to bring me a little bit of peace at that moment. Not necessarily pushing that all the way out, you know what I mean? Not like out the picture or whatever, but like thinking about it a little bit less, if that makes sense. Think about things that are more important in that part.
Like prioritize.
Man.
What's more meaningful to you?
Yeah, and sometimes that just involves not a lot of people.
Man, you're not wrong, man. I've come to realize that like a small circle is really all you need. Like a good tight knit. Like somebody that can give you sound advice, that like that's not gonna like stab you in the back, like that kind of thing. It brings a lot of peace knowing that you have that. You know what I mean? Especially like with us, like knowing like I ain't got to worry about him, like because it's like you got so many other things to worry about as a man for as far as responsibilities. The last thing you want to worry about is like, damn, can I trust him? Like, can I leave my wallet at his crib or in front of him and all my stuff will be there? Like, can I leave my, it's just all that stuff, man. It comes down to trust for me. Like, if I got to question you, nah, man, I got too much stress in my life to be worried. I can't have, that's another thing I don't need to add, like, on top of. So I think it's really just like, what is it? Addition by subtraction.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like, don't need that, don't need that, don't need that, don't need that. Mm-hmm. And like before, like I used to, like I'm real big on relationships, so it was like I didn't cut nobody out of my life. But then it got to the point, probably like mid-30s, I was like, nah, this is too much. Like I don't need you, I don't need you. You don't add value, you don't add value, and I'm cool with that, and I'm cool with them being mad at me too. Like I do not care, bro, because you didn't add. Like if I see you didn't add value in the first place, so why would I trip about you being mad and not being in my life anymore? Yeah, because obviously you was only there for one of a few reasons. You was trying to get something off of me, right? You was benefiting off of me more than I was benefiting off of you.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just like, nah, man, I'm cool. I just need my select few of people, and that's it. If I don't ever have another friend in my life, I'm cool with that.
Man, listen, I understand that. Now, healing looks different for everybody. It looks different for lots of different people. But I think overall is you kind of got to get back to yourself.
Right.
You got to get yourself to a place. You got to emotionally process and get yourself back to a place where you can be yourself again.
Right.
And whatever that looks like. And so I guess my question is, how do you unplug or detox or de-stress? How do y'all do that?
Well, so it's a good thing and a bad thing for me, but I like to isolate.
Mm-hmm.
It's bad because you shouldn't have to do that, but for me, it's like it allows me to declutter my mind.
Okay.
Right, and just everything, declutter my mind, my heart, my spirit. Is like it's like you've been through. It's like going through a hard day as a work, and you just got all this dirt on you, and it's like, look, all right, I'm finna go in here. I'm finna just get in the shower. I'm finna just chill. I'm finna cleanse myself. And for me, that's just what it is. Like, I didn't realize that's what I like to do. But for me, that's I just give me a minute, right? Give me a minute to kind of reorganize and shake some stuff off. And if it's something that I can't, then I try to say, like, I mean, I'm kind of in your boat. It's like, I know I got people to talk to, but it's like, in my head,
yeah,
I'm thinking, everybody got stress. Why would I bring my stress to you and add to your plate? So I'm just going to try to figure out, the root cause and stuff like that. But that's how it is for me.
I'm really glad you said that, because I honestly think that that's one of as men, our toxic traits. Right. We try to internalize things, and all that does is make things compound. Mm-hmm. And because we're processed this way as young as we can remember, to internalize everything. Mm-hmm. And that doesn't help, and it doesn't work.
It doesn't work at all.
It doesn't. And you just stack and you just stack and you just stack the stress, and then it comes out in other areas where you didn't even expect it to come out, especially like when you're around other people. Right. And so we really got to start teaching ourselves, hey, let this out. And then analyze those relationships. Like, whoever this person is, like, if I can't tell you what's bothering me, then we really can't be in a relationship. Right. Like, if I can't unpack with you, then no, like you said, like, you're not benefiting the relationship at all. Mm-hmm. But it starts internally with us. I got to be able to say, because like you said, we all go through things, right? Mm-hmm. And everybody, I'm really going through something now, but have I called you and said, hey, this is what's happening, this is how I feel? No, we don't. As men, we don't do that. And that's not good.
That's real big. I think that unfortunately, the people that we talk to sometimes, the people that we give all our trust to, sometimes they weaponize those things. You know what I'm saying?
Oh,
that's a whole, that's the game right there. The game is,
yes.
Man, like, you can't be someone who's like forthcoming with a lot of information, but when you finally do share those things, then people use those things against you. So
Mm-hmm.
I've seen that. I've been a victim of that myself. Like, it's crazy.
I can say that now.
So, yeah. So I think I remember it was a podcast with Ken Samuels. Samuel. And I think he was saying how men we're like you said, a process that way. Like, yo, if you got a grievance, you got some type of thing going on in your life, he said, yo, you go talk to a goddamn tree. He said, don't you bring that up to a woman. So I'm like, yo, like, that sounds like that's like really hard ass advice. Mm-hmm. But to some degree of that, I get it. I do get it. Right. Because again, like, no one wants to hear that all the time. And then, like, just bitching and moaning about things sometimes, it doesn't necessarily solve a problem, right? It's great to get it out. It's called suppression when you keep it in, and you do want to get those things out, but you got to have, like you said, a safe spot to be able to do that. And sometimes that safe spot might not be a person. It just may be you. Yeah, alone in your thoughts and in your space to be able to get to a point to where you can be good.
And so that's where journaling comes in. Like, man, I'm real big with Google Docs because I love it because they don't. If I'm on my phone, on my computer, I could just open up a Google Doc and log in and just start writing. And that's my release. I'll just start writing and I'll just start flowing. And I guess, that's, like you said, like talking to the tree, sometimes that's what it is. But yeah, like you said, like the people that that weaponize it and use it against you. Like, sometimes those people are the ones that actually need healing as well. And like, you just got to just open your eyes and realize that's not a relationship you need to be in.
Right.
It's not. Like, it's not working. It's not working. Like, if I can't talk to you, you can't talk to me. We're not moving anywhere. You know what I'm saying? But we should, like, and so one of the things that I know works for me is I will use the words and say, I'm not bringing this up to argue. I'm bringing this up to look for resolution. Right. And then I'll say whatever it is. And then sometimes, like, for the most part, that works. Like, I'm actually like, hey, we're talking now. Like, hey, like, because I've said in advance, I'm not trying to fight. I just, like, want to tell you my side and hear your side, and let's get to a good spot.
Bro, how does that work out?
It doesn't always work, but it helps me. You know what I'm saying? And so, like, I'm telling you in advance. So, like, listen, if it got to the point where we're fighting, look, I told you in advance. It was not meant to fight. This is a problem that needs to be solved.
Right.
And I'm presenting it, but also at the same time, like, I'm known for this. Like, I don't 100% believe that people come at you with an attempt to try to upset you. Sometimes you're upset by that whatever belief that you have internally, right? And so sometimes if you walk in knowing that, like, it's easier for me to talk to you. Yeah, right. Like, I don't think you meant to piss me off, but you did. Oh, yeah. So let me tell you what actions happened, and let me tell you how I feel about it. Right. And let's move toward let's figure out a common ground to get towards resolution. That's the idea. Does it always work? No, it doesn't. But it's a start. It's better than internalizing it, in my opinion.
Glad you said that. So, like, I think somewhere in the wide world, World Wide Web, somewhere I read, it's like the men, we're like more logical by nature, and then women are more feeling based, emotional. So like those two things, like they don't connect. Unfortunately,
they don't often connect.
Often connect. Now, you do need to have some type of logic to feel the way that you feel, but sometimes you can feel some shit without logic, and it'll mess. And so now that leads to other mental health issues because you're trying to you're trying to understand that person. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, it's like apples and oranges, both fruit, but two different tastes, two different textures. There's two different things going on at the same time. So I think that it has a huge capacity on like understand like mental health. It's like knowing how we process as human beings, right? And that's just between men and women. Men and men, we have different, so you have alpha, you have beta, you have different leadership roles and those type of leadership type personalities. And so sometimes those people don't necessarily click or connect. You might have two alphas in the same room. It's a lot.
I'm glad you said that because sometimes, and like this takes, again, this is internal. It takes you to understand yourself. Like, how many times have I called you and said, hey, am I wrong? Right? And then I'll just say, this is my thoughts. This is what happened. Like you have to just understand that you might not always be right. Yeah. And so you have to be able to call somebody and say, hey, this is what happened. Am I tripping? Because this was the perspective that was given back to me, And so you have to honestly have people that have your best interest at heart. Yeah. Like that whatever the situation is, they actually care about you. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like, our brother Dwayne, like I call him, he'll tell me in a minute if I'm tripping. He'll tell me in a minute. He will not cut me in. It's like, hey man, you did what? That's what you were thinking? No, I mean, you was all the way wrong. Like, and so I have to stand up for my actions. But to be able to say, hey, like, you can't just think to yourself, you're always right. I'm always right. I'm alpha. You might not be right. You can be smart, but you might not be right. And so you just have to be that big. You have to be able to like bounce your ideas off of somebody sometimes. And so, yeah, it helps, man, if you're able to just vocalize whatever it is and be strong enough to say, hey, this is what happened.
But I think it also goes towards creating that environment for yourself. Mm-hmm. Understanding what it is you need and what needs to be in place so you can have those things, because I feel most people, they don't even know what that looks like.
Right. You think that most people know what they need though?
That was what I was going to say. Like, they don't know what that looks like. They don't even know what they need because they don't really know who they are as a person and what needs are needing to be fulfilled or what trauma they're actually holding in that they're suffering from and not even realizing it, right? How many times either yourself or somebody just lashes out at you or somebody, and you be like, where did that come
Yeah,
from?
what was that?
And then when they tell you, well, it was because of this, and you be like, oh, okay, but that's minuscule. So there's something else. Because why would you be that irate over something small, and then, oh man, this happened at the job, or my lady pissed me off, and yada yada yada, and then it was just that one thing that triggered you, not realizing that it was really this over here that you was holding in.
Yeah, somebody stole your parking spot.
But again, it's understanding yourself enough to know, like, man, why is this thing upsetting me so much? This normally wouldn't tick me off. And then be able to have that conversation, or again, having the people in your inner circle, or having the environment where you could have a conversation, you could feel comfortable enough and call, like, yo, I'm feeling real off today, and I don't know why. And then they can ask you those real questions, and then be straight up with you and say, nah, bro, you wrong. You can't. That's not it. Like,
Yeah.
And then being mature enough to accept that and say, okay, how do I fix that then?
Yeah.
Going forward. But I think the biggest problem that goes with that is, how do you put things in place so you don't make that same mistake again? Does that make sense? Because I think a lot of things happen for the wrong reasons, because people can't communicate, or like you said, they holding stuff in, or again, they just don't have the environment to express themselves in a proper way so they can process everything.
Yeah, and like you just said, like I call it practicing mindfulness, right?
Yeah, there you go.
Like I call it practicing mindfulness.
That sounds so peaceful.
Like what? Because that's what I try. That's what I try. Because you gotta understand, like it's like so much of my day is complete chaos and stress. And so when I come home, I really just want to shut down. I really just want to shut down.
Exactly.
And like, I really don't, but there's so many other responsibilities that you have to do. Mm-hmm. You got to make sure the family's taken care of. You got to take care of yourself. It's like so many other things to do. And so I do what I like to call practicing mindfulness. And it's where you got to sit back and you got to ask yourself. But for the most part, I set goals and I set rules for myself.
Right.
Like there are certain things I will do. There are certain things I won't do. And you just have to stick to them. You have to write, and it helps. Like I said, writing them down. I got my Google Docs, and I just go through it. Like, hey, you got to recognize when you violate your own rules, but at the same time, you have to understand yourself.
Yeah.
And you got to understand your own triggers, and then know what brings you out of it. And if your conventional ways aren't doing that, then you have to have a backup plan for that. You know what I'm saying? And so, like, I am notorious for getting up at 4, 5 in the morning and just doing a home workout. You know,
you are insane.
It is what it is. Like, so you guys never woke up at a ridiculous hour and just like, why am I up?
Let me stop fronting, because I play basketball at 5 in the morning.
So what are you talking about? What's the difference?
Yeah.
What's the difference?
But that was also in my 20s.
Yeah. So
I'm
45, dog. I ain't getting up.
I get up at 3 because if I don't, fitness is very important because it helps regulate me. Mm-hmm. And it's like I have so many responsibilities and things to do throughout the day. If I don't do it in the morning, the first thing I do in the morning, it'll never happen.
All excuses come in.
Yeah, because it's like, think about it. You at work all day. Mm-hmm. You know, most of us get off 4 or 5 o'clock. If you got kids, some of y'all got kids, extracurricular activities, soccer, baseball, football, basketball.
So many different places to be.
So many different places. On top of just being available for your kids and being there as a father. Then on top of that is like your spouse or whoever you were in a relationship with, you got to give them that time, because if not, that can get real rocky. Yeah. And then you look up, it's 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock, and it's like, well, okay, you understand what I'm saying? So I don't want to get up at 3.
Yeah, I'm telling you right now, Jeff, I would have hit my snooze button. I wouldn't even hit the snooze button the first time at 3 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah, so I don't actually wake up at 3. I mean, like if mine is usually 6, right?
When the last time you woke up? What time?
Like 5. No, 4:30 is 4:30. Like
that's time?
Yeah, like that's when I know something's wrong. If I wake up and it's 4:30, something's wrong. So I will work out or I'll pray. And and I got that from my cousin Juji. He told me I think I put it online once. I was like, I keep waking up at 4:30, and a lot of people kept saying pray. But then my cousin Juji said, hey, pray till you go back to sleep. And then I was calming myself down. So I would get up, I work out, I'll do my little workout, my little home routine, you know, like hit the, it's like 10 different things that hits the whole body. Lay back down and just pray and go. Now, lately though, I've just been just worshiping. Like I make it a point. My 4:30 in the morning prayers, I don't ask for anything. Don't ask for anything. I'm just, Lord, I thank you. I thank you for this day. I thank you for my life. I thank you for everything. I thank you for things I see. I thank you for things that I don't see. You know, because, you know, God is always working for you. And so I'll pray and pray and pray or praise until I fall asleep. But lately I've been just praising, just like songs in my head, worship songs in my head until I just go back to sleep. But you asked when was the last time? Last couple of weeks, bro. It's been consistent. Yeah.
You know what one of my friends told me, and it changed my perspective on that whole thing. She said, like, if you wake up in the middle, like, of the night, he said, that's your time that God wants to talk to you during that time period.
Yeah.
There you go. So, hey, man, this your conversational time right now.
Yeah.
You skip them all day. So I thought that was, like, really, really intriguing, number one. But, like, you know what? I never even really thought of it.
Like I just said, a lot of people said that, but it didn't, you know, like, it's funny, like, a lot of people can say something that is usually, like, one person that'll stick out. Like I said, a lot of people said that online, but it was my cousin Juju. It just stuck out when he said it. I was like, you know what? You're right. I'm just going to pray until I go back to sleep. And that's what I do. I pray, and then and sometimes, it'll come to you loud and clear. You didn't do this, and that's going to affect this. Yeah. And it'll come loud and clear.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
It'll come loud and clear. You forgot to do this. Like, all right, so I'll do that. I'll take care of that today.
But see, that goes back to the community, though, right? Because if you didn't have the group of people to put that out there, and them have a spiritual life or a type of, you know, something where they can offer that kind of advice to you, you would still be waking up like, what is going on? And still dealing with that battle. And that's why I said it's important, and it's cool that you said that, because I don't think there's a lot of, and again, I'm speaking from a man's perspective, right? Minus everything else, right? For most men, like, they don't know where to go. Right, like some people don't have father figures, right? Some people are in an environment where there's just a lot of dudes that they not doing the right thing, so they're not gonna give you that type of advice. You know what I mean? And so it's just being able to guide people like that and say, hey, you got to build an environment, be part of some community somewhere where you can at least ask the question, what do I do here? You know, and then at that point it's like people will offer their advice and you just try stuff, you know what I mean? Because I think so many of us might just sit there and be like, all right, no, I'm gonna shut this right down here, and then I'm gonna go wake up and go to work. But then one day it's like it's just gonna get piled up, and again it could be that stupid thing, somebody accidentally just, oh my bad, and then you just, you know, and like, no, why'd you do that, bro? Like, why did you do that?
So, you know, while we're talking about this, I'm just curious to know. We will be, not in the right place to not recognize that everybody doesn't believe, or not everybody is a Christian. So I'm just curious to know, maybe on the Game Changer social media, we can ask the question, like, if you, like, what do you do, like, if you're not religious, like, and like, who do you reach out to, or who do you talk to, or
right? What's your comfort space?
Yeah, like, what is, like, if, like, I heard people say the universe all the time. You know what I'm saying? I would like somebody to explain that to me. Like, what does that mean? Like, with the universe, you know what I'm saying? Like, I would just like to hear the non-Christian perspective on this part. You know what I mean? And I always welcome those conversations. I'm definitely not one to force my religion on somebody. Like, that's your relationship. I'm in the shirt, like, I'm wearing, like, I'm blessed on my shirt. Like, it is what it is. Like, you're not going to change my thoughts, and I'm not going to force it on you. You know what I mean? But I'm just curious to know. As a man that is as busy as I am, I'm curious to know, like, could you create a white space? Like, do you have a space like that, like Jeff is mentioning?
My white space is black.
I got you, because, like, and the reason why I'm saying that, Jeff, is because, like, just like you're an educator, but we have these after-school activities, and we got a whole team. And then when you come home, you got a house full of people.
Yeah.
And so, like, I am literally never alone. Literally, like, anytime I leave the house, I can say, hey, this is where I'm going. I'm never alone. Never. So in my mind,
right,
I don't think I've ever in my life thought, like, create a white blank space.
I think my space looks like the universe you were talking about earlier. It's dark as hell. and it's like a whole bunch of little white spots, little light spots. So here, there, and everywhere. It's just a lot going on. Because no matter what I do, it's gonna be dark. So I've faced the fact that shit's gonna be dark. It is what it is. But there are those patches of light, you know, and every now and then you get a comet, you get a ray. And I hate to be pessimistic about it, but like that's just the way it's been. That's been observation.
No, man, that's like $1 million idea. Animate that.
You should, but it's also you gotta find like. Most people don't want to do it, but again, what's the one time of any day where most people aren't going to be around to bother you?
Well, sleep.
That's waking up early.
When y'all are working out.
But that's what I'm saying. Like, you think about any successful person out there in the world that's doing their thing. The one common thing that most of them have is that they get up earlier than anybody and they do whatever it is they got to do to prep themselves for the day.
That is some very Kobe-esque.
So if you can get up, and it might be nighttime for some people. You got to find that space. You got to find it. But you can't find it until you start thinking about that and trying it out. Yeah, that's the thing. Most people just accept what they have. I don't have time. I don't have resources. I don't got nobody. And it's just like, okay, that might be true in some sense, but you have to fight for your peace. And at some point, if you feel like that peace is leaving you, it's just like anything else. If somebody's taking my kids from me or whatever, I'm gonna fight tooth and nail to get them back. And you have to be like that with your peace. So if that means like, hey, if I gotta wake up an hour earlier than I normally do, just simply if you normally wake up at 7, wake up at 6. Take 30, 45 minutes just to get your mind right and just to kind of, or at night, you might come home and if you single or maybe you got kids after you lay and you've done all your thing and you're the type of person like to stay up a little later. All right, 10, 11, 12, just sit up there and just say, okay, let me process my day. Let me shed all this dead weight that I've picked up from all this bad energy from this person, that person. You know what I mean? But not everybody's is going to be the same. You just got my point is find what works for you and then do that.
And do that.
Do that.
So saying that, like, do you guys self-care?
Oh yeah.
Like, I have lately.
Okay.
I have lately.
How do you self-care?
For me, it's working out.
I exfoliate.
Okay. Exfoliate?
I'm just playing, man. It's a joke.
I was like, what does that even mean?
Pure joking. I take myself out to eat all the time, dog. Like,
yeah.
I go to a theater, like, and people, that's hard to believe for some people. Like, yo, you at the movie theater? Who you with? I know you with somebody. Like, no, I'm by my damn self. I'm having a good time. I got me a drink. I got some popcorn. I'm straight. That's all I can afford. But I'm here having a good time. You know what I mean? Yeah. Sometimes I write. I'm a writer. I do music. I'm a creative. So I create a lot of content. So sometimes that those type of things bring me peace and joy. So
I used to like when movies were actually $1 at the Dollar Theater.
Oh, dead.
Like,
bro, do you remember Hollywood?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah, man. And so like you're mentioning Hollywood, but I used to go to the one off of 80 and
yes.
Belmont.
Wait, is that what we talking about?
Wait, Starplex.
Yeah, something like that. And the only reason why was because the concession stand was cheaper over there.
Correct.
And so I would go over there, and it would be my Sunday or Tuesday thing. So like Tuesday is 50 cent.
It's 50 cent.
50 cent, right? But
Stop.
it was always my Sunday.
Now we say,
yeah,
you can get gas for 73 cents.
No, well, it wasn't that long ago, man. It was what 5, 6 years ago. Like
dog.
it was like before COVID. It was before COVID. But it used to be my thing was to go to the theater. So I used to do that all the time. I was like, at first when you said it, I was like, what? Then I was like, oh yeah, I did. I used to too. On the Sundays, yeah.
Absolutely.
Go up there, you go to the Dollar Theater. Everybody's already seen whatever movie's there, and it's $1.
It's $1.
But see, what a lot of people don't know now is that movie theater at Valley View Mall is still open.
Is it?
Yes. And so whatever movie's out everywhere else, it's there for like $4.
Really?
That's insane.
Yep.
Oh,
if it's still open, yeah. If it's still open, check it out. Like, that's what I switched. I switched over to that, and so like the mall is shut down, but the theater was still open.
I'll make that.
I haven't been on 635 in a minute, but
you walking that downstairs, it's gonna look like I Am Legend.
No, so real talk. That's what's funny. It's because you have to go through the mall, and the whole mall is closed. And so it literally does look like I Am Legend until you get to the movie theater and all the lights are all bright. Yeah.
That shit's sketchy.
Yeah.
Hey, side note, there's actually a YouTube channel, and I have to remember what it is, that they literally do like just tours of abandoned like malls and stuff.
I thought he was gonna say bootleg. Somebody was like
Nah.
YouTube channel.
But it's actually kind of crazy because they'll find like retro videos of like when that mall or place was like really popping, and then they'll cut to it and it's just all these boarded up stores and clubs. So
that's sad.
It is sad because
it's
it
like,
makes you sit up there and go, God.
But you know how many phone numbers are in that mall? that was a great mall.
Oh man.
I miss some days where you used to go to the mall just to walk around.
Just to walk around.
Flex your fit.
That's it.
Or you just trying to talk to some female.
I mean, you can still do it. You got like about 15 more years. You can power walk around the mall if you really want to.
You know what? We are at that age when those people were doing that.
That shit's crazy.
Yeah, just walking through the mall.
And you just laughing like, what are you doing?
You're just walking through the mall.
It's a nice little walk around. Yeah.
Man, listen.
Getting musty and shit.
Man, listen. All jokes aside, this really did happen. I went and I ordered some food, and the lady asked me if I wanted a senior discount. And in my head, I was thinking all these curse words, but then but out my mouth was like, yes. Discount? Yeah, give me a discount.
How much was it?
I don't even remember. But, it was enough, right? It was enough.
Yeah,
it was enough. But speaking of that, speaking of stuff from back in the day though, what is a hobby that you would like to rediscover? Like you said, you used to play basketball back in the day.
Bro, listen, man. My knees, oh my God, bro. Knees, back, heel. Oh my God. If I hoop for sure. For sure. Basketball for sure. But I would say, probably music, man. Because I kind of abandoned it a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
I gave it to my son. So my son, shout out, son, Cage.
I heard he had an album drop.
Spotify, yeah, all those streaming platforms, really good album, man. 16 tracks, pretty good.
What's the name of the album, man?
It's called Caged.
It's called Caged?
Caged.
How you spell that?
Kage''.
You just type that into Spotify.
You type it in Spotify, you'll get it, man. It's dope. Okay. 16 songs. So it's beautiful to see that he's picked that up. Mm-hmm. Took it somewhere that I couldn't even take it there, man. Like this is a little bit different, but
that music is way different than ours.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
God dang.
Their music is way different than ours.
Yeah. That's all I'm gonna say about that. I don't know. What can I? Ooh, it's hard.
So, but the young people will love it.
Oh yeah, they'll love it, man. I think young and old will love it. While you put it on your AirPod while you power walking around the mall. You're good. Good. Put that shit on.
There we go. What about you, Jeff? You got a hobby you would like to rediscover if you could?
Man, I was really big into card collecting, man. Like for football,
like Pokemon.
No, like the bro. I have
football and basketball cards.
Top Flight.
Yeah, like all that, man. Like Fleer, all those different cards. I used to love collecting, and then I stopped. I would say, like, when did LeBron come in the league? Like in the early 2000s, right?
Yeah, like what? He a pawpaw, so he been in what 20-something years almost.
Yeah, his son is playing now, so
right.
yeah.
So it was right around right before he got in the league when I stopped, and so I would love to pick that back up.
I have cards.
I still have mine.
That's crazy.
But I would want to start doing that again. The only problem is that I've dibbled and dabbled in so many other things that take my money.
Right.
That
yes.
I don't know if but I think I might get back into that. I think it'll be cool.
Who's out here really? Let's. I got a question. Who's out here buying these cards, dog?
Probably somebody who's really into collecting because these cards they're worth money.
But
they're
is
investments.
it?
Yeah.
Is it like I'm not dropping, mortgage? I don't know.
I'm not.
Daryl Strawberry card. I mean, that probably would be worth a lot. But I'm trying to figure out, like, why would someone put so much into a sporting card? Like
a collectible,
It's any kind of collectible.
Yeah. But, like...
It's just like in somebody that does, like, collect sneakers, that collect cars, that do...
Yeah, it's the value you put on it,
It's the value that you put on it.
That you put on it,
You know what I'm saying? So, like, for instance, I went to, it was a local car shop. It was right next to the barbershop that I take my son to get his haircut. And we walked in there, and I was like, oh... And I looked at some of their, bro, you talking about $300, $500 for like a LeBron rookie and all that stuff. I was like, okay.
So what do y'all drop money on?
What, dropping money on?
Yeah, what you drop money on? Like if there's a collectible, what you dropping money on?
Currently, right now?
Don't say it.
No, I'm like right now.
Right now, this very second.
Right now, it's shoes.
Shoes, goddamn.
Unfortunately.
I knew it. Yo, there it is.
See, I was never a shoe person,
Hey,
but mine is cologne
listen,
and watches.
You're in a safe place right now.
Yeah.
You're in a very safe place.
I did. So look, I never have, but I'm gonna go ahead and throw one of my friends under the bus.
Damn, you mean?
No, not you.
Okay, good.
It was my homie Dante.
Oh, a whole name.
Oh, Dante has a whole situation now.
He was like he would come in like we coached the basketball team, and he would come in with these sneakers. I'm like, yo, that's dope. We be going to the games. Bro, he be having the fit with the J's. I'm over there looking all bummy on the side with mismatched sweat outfit. I said, okay, hold on, wait. So I got me one pair, and it's kind of like, you know how people say, like,
gotta catch them all.
You get one tattoo, you can't just have one, you're gonna get more. Or like, you can't just have one Lay's chip.
It's the Pokemon
Bro,
effect.
it went from 1 to now I have like 30. And that was in the span of this year.
Damn.
Yeah.
It's Dante's fault.
Yeah.
It's the Dante effect.
Dante, it's your fault.
The Dante effect.
Oh
Stress
man.
and strain on my
But mine is cologne and watches. Like I love a good watch, and I love a good fragrance. I really do. What about you?
Literally, all three. Like literally, if it's shoes, cologne. And listen, my cologne collection, and I've scaled back so much, and it's so sad. And there's some things that you know. Getting old, we're talking about game changing and stuff. Number one, the shoes that you buy, I have a ridiculous amount of shoes. And just like Jordans alone, I have like 120 pair of Jordans. And that's just not Yeezys, that's not Tim boots, that's not all the, designer this, that, and that. I got a lot of damn shoes. But if you don't wear those shoes, them shits tear up.
Oh
yeah.
If you leave them in a box,
yeah.
them bitches is gone.
I try to wear mine at least
whatever
pair I try to wear them once a month.
You need to wear them. Yeah.
Listen, man, I got a homegirl named Erica. Listen, she was off in North Carolina, wherever she was with her husband or whatever, right? Came back in town to visit. Went to Dad's house and thought she was going to put on her Jordans.
Oh,
Listen, we pulled up in front of the house, and she was walking towards the car. And I'm looking, and I'm like, what is that? Like, you can see, like, every step she took, a layer of that shoe came off.
Follow the trend.
Yeah, man. Like, yes, like, them shoes fell apart. Like, whenever I talk to her, I bring that story up, man.
But that's happened to me, though. I worked a charity event out at the Cotton Bowl, man.
Mm-hmm.
And I called myself, like, oh, these Jordans, I wear these. I haven't worn these in a long time. I just, I didn't care about them. They were just basketball shoes. And then I left a sole.
No.
I left, like, the stitching.
Ugh.
I walked out the fair, like, barefoot.
No
I had to leave them shoes there.
Man.
It really happened.
That sucks.
That's a real story.
That's hilarious.
And
That's
let me throw this out there,
hilarious.
too. Hey, let y'all know, Dante's my brother. He knows that whatever I say, I'm just joking. I love that dude to death. So I want to put that out because people are like, ooh, him and Dante gonna be.
Ooh, he
Yeah. Well, first of all,
said
people like that are just messy. So
I will say, y'all need to keep me up on game on cologne because you know what my cologne is for breeze. I don't even do cologne, bro. I don't even do cologne.
So the first thing, man, is notes. Like, what is your note? What is your favorite note?
More like bourbon.
Bourbon?
Yeah, I like the bourbon.
Yeah, like
bourbon-y
so
whiskey
if you have a favorite scent, like if you have a favorite cologne that you've worn, like type in Google what the notes are, right? And then go in the search bar and type colognes with those notes, and then you'll find different blends. It'll like he said bourbon, right? And then so like when you type it in, it might have bourbon and tobacco, bourbon and vanilla, like, but it'll be a different blend of all these other things, and it'll be a completely different scent in a different bottle. And so mine is woods is tobacco, and woodsy tobacco.
Yeah.
And so
same.
like those are the ones.
That's
I
the
like.
bourbon-ish.
Yeah.
We the same.
Yeah.
Some manly smell.
So you smell like old money.
Yeah.
Hey man, call it what you want.
See,
Call
I
it
don't
what you
even
want.
know. I don't even know what note. Like I don't even know that.
It's pretty much the flavor.
Yeah, it
of
really
the cologne.
is.
Yeah,
it's like
pretty
more
much
like
the
a
flavor.
floral. Like you want something that's like really like orange or like
citrus.
orange is the base.
Yeah.
Citrus is the base of almost
Is
all of it.
clean a note?
Yeah, it really is.
okay,
It really
okay.
is.
Citrus.
It really is.
Yeah.
Like he mentioned floral. I'm not a fan of floral.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And like citrus, like I I want to say I
Does
could be
Walmart
wrong
smell
with the
like a
nerve.
tangerine
No, I could be wrong with the
Sexy
name, but it
banana.
might. I'm thinking Curve. Remember
Pause.
Curve back in the day?
Yes, yes.
I say
do remember.
I'm thinking I could be wrong because it's been so long, but I'm thinking Curve had a citrus scent to it.
Curve.
I want to say yeah, they did. Like it was called Chill or something like that. It's something
No,
weird.
that was just that was a different like flavor of it. Like that was a different, like a different.
Yeah,
Right, like I remember Curve Chill. Like that was just a different thing.
Curve was cheap as shit.
I think Curve Chill was like a powder. I think that was a powder one.
I don't know, but Curve was like that was like
I could be all the way wrong because this is like so long ago.
Nobody's wearing Curve right now.
Nobody wears Curve. That's the
Man.
Walmart brand.
Curve is
an
the
example.
Old Spice of
Yeah,
fragrances.
yeah.
You gotta take your medicine.
Yeah, I do, honestly. That's exactly what that means. That's exactly what that means. I'll be right back, guys.
One of the things that we had talked about before was we talked about like relationships, right?
Okay.
And I think one of the topics that I mean it's real big now is like the gender roles in a relationship.
Oh, that
Do y'all do y'all have like if you go into a relationship, are there certain things that you feel like that are too stereotypical that a man should do, or that you come in there like, hey, as a woman, you should be providing that? Like, what are your thoughts?
So, oh man, listen, like that's why.
Trouble in here.
No,
Yeah,
listen,
here we
man,
go.
listen. No, because I have
folks.
gotten in trouble. Like, because this is the thing. I was sharing this with Jeff. This is like anytime I ever hear a woman respond with, "As a man, you should." My question is always, and it doesn't matter who you are, I will always ask, okay, well, what is the woman's role? And the problem I've had is because I talk to a lot of very educated people, people that I highly respect, and it's like it doesn't always match. It is like you have all these expectations of men, but very little expectation from women except to just receive, and that's always been a problem for me. Now, you got to understand that gender roles and relationships are socially constructed, and they can change over generations and time. But if it's just my personal opinion, if you know in your mind as a female, and I'm not speaking for females at all because I am a guy, but if you have an expectation from a man, then I just want to know, what are you bringing? What are you offering? Because you're expecting to receive all of this. What are you giving? And so traditionally, you hear things like, as a man, provider, protector, take care of the bills, and all these things, right? But it becomes left one-sided when you bring up traditionally what's expected from the female side is take care of the home and all these different things. Now, obviously, we live at these, that's a very old school mindset.
Absolutely.
A very old school mindset. And so what I just try to point out is that if you hold on to the old school mindset of a man, how are you not holding on to the old school mindset of a female? Now, am I saying that's what's supposed to happen? Absolutely not. Absolutely not.
So you're saying there's a double standard?
It is very much a double standard, and no one wants to hear that. That's a trigger. Somebody's probably listening to me saying that right now and didn't even get to hear everything I said because they were so triggered by how it started. You know what I'm saying? Like, and that's just how some people are. And and I'm gonna remind you again. I am not saying, that's what women should be doing. I'm just saying that was what my response always is. If you're going to say, as a man, he should, then my response is always going to be, okay, well, as a woman, what should he expect?
Yeah, I'm going to agree with that, dog. I'm going to tell you this. I feel like the stigma of what men and women and how they should behave within operate within a relationship, where did it come from? If you really think about it, it comes from media, right? It comes from, how you seen your grandmother and your granddad, how they got along when they were, young, and your mom and your dad and those type of things. But then what's crazy is like those same relationships, you have those people who don't even they don't get along. You got a grandmother and a grandfather who don't even sleep in the same damn room.
Yeah, but
so you learn all these
stuck
things.
It out and stayed together. Now,
yeah,
but to go back to your question though, historically it was a different time. women weren't allowed to work like they are. Like women are CEOs.
Comrade, for the last, how long has that been, my guy? That's like from 1901, 1902. Women have been working and been doing things for years. That shit from year to year. I don't understand how that is, how that hasn't changed. That doesn't, that makes sense, but like it doesn't make sense to me. I feel like the way that we, how we go into relationships, I think we do it all wrong. This is just my personal opinion. I feel like this. The word relationship, right? You're in a boat. Yeah. So if it's two people in this boat, right? Whose job is it to row? It's both people. Both, right? Here we go. Who has the heavier job? Is it the front or the back? It's equal. You stop working, that shit's hard. I stop working, that shit's hard. So I feel like this pushing, both of us working together towards something without necessarily knowing what that looks like, as long as we both rowing. It's not, hey, you do this, you do this, you do this, you do this, and I do this. No, it's not a set, defined list of things to do. Now, there are some crazy shit, like I don't expect my wife to cut the grass. You're not cutting the grass. That's stupid. Yeah. Why would I allow that? It just for me and my feeling, I don't want that for you. But at the same time, I think that my significant other should have things say, you know what, babe, I think that I'm better at this than you are, or that I'm able to provide in a way that you cannot. So let me cover that. So if we get to that part, then I think that would be good.
So for that comes with having a communication of what the expectations are.
Absolutely.
Like you said that earlier. Like you have to have those conversations in advance.
Yeah, that's dating.
But my point, like the thing is that you have to understand, and I think what most people miss is it goes back to like you said, right? It's the social construct. It's this expectation that you got to. So like from a female perspective, right? They might see how their dad or their uncle or their older brother, like how they treated them, right? So it might have been like, hey, baby girl, I'm, daddy would take care of it. I'll take care of you, my princess. And, when you have kids and you have girls, I have a daughter. I want to spoil her to death. But my wife, she got to come in and say, no, you got to let her learn how to do things on her own, right? So it's that, or the relationship that they might see like, well, my dad did everything for my mom. Everything. My mom didn't work. My mom. So you have to understand when you're getting in a relationship with somebody, you are two people coming from two different backgrounds and environments and have two different expectations. So you got to look past like, dang, she look good. She got this and that. Okay, what are her thoughts on certain things? And you got to have those hard conversations. Now, that is your choice when you want to have those conversations. But you have to sit up there and say, hey, like, what do you feel about relationships? What do you think the expectations, this and that? And she's like, well, you do everything, and I just be at home, and right. And then you got to say like, well,
that's what I usually hear.
But that's what I'm saying. Yeah. But that's what you hear. But if you had a conversation with somebody and you say, well, I don't do that. Like I need somebody to pull equal weight. Like if I'm gonna be
equally yoked.
Yeah. If I'm gonna, let's just say, okay, you want to stay home. Okay, cool. Like I'll be the breadwinner if that's what you want. But here are the things that I expect if you're gonna be home all day. Right? And then she's like, well, I can't do that. Oh, all right. That's a deal breaker.
Yeah, we're not.
But same thing for a man. Same thing for a man. If you're a woman and you like, hey, I need you, like, I need to feel safe. I want to feel safe. I need you. Well, I'm not the confrontational type. I don't. Well, as a woman, you'd be like, nah, then that's a deal breaker for me. But y'all both people from both sides have to have that conversation and be open and real. And then at that point, it's like if you're not willing to and you're not willing to, and those are deal breakers for you, all right, then you need to go find somebody who's about that. But I think so many people are just surface level. He dressed nice, he smelled good, or he 6 foot, or he that BS.
He got money,
right? And then and then I think that's the issue. And then some people, it goes back to what we said at the beginning. Some people don't really know who they are as a person themselves. So you might look at like I need this, and this. And again, it's like, but have you asked yourself the real question, like, what do you offer? Like, what is it that you bring to the table that's going to make somebody say, I want to be in a real long-term relationship and possibly marry you?
And does that match with what I'm looking for?
That's what I'm saying. Like, you as a person, and like me as a man, I'm married, by the way. I'm going to put that out there, right? But like, if me as a man, I have to be real with myself. I have to say, am I a handyman? Hell no, I'm not. I'm not that type of dude. I'm not going to be fixing stuff. That's just not who I am. Okay, cool. You know, if I get with somebody, you gotta let them know they daddy might be the dude that built the whole deck in an afternoon. I'm not that guy.
But Jeff is hiring somebody.
Yeah, but you know what I'm saying? Like, hey, you know, or you like as a man, like I'm not good with money. I'm not good financially with money. Like I'm not a frugal person. Well, as a woman, you need to be like, well, I need a man that know how to do that. Right. You know what I mean? Because I don't know how to balance a checkbook. One of us got to know how to do it.
Yeah, because you have to be equally yoked.
Like the right person need to be able to do it.
Right, but again, you got to have those. Quit being surface level. Like first, second date, cool. All that's cute. Yeah, but by third, fourth, like my wife used to say, when we were dating, like I'm not dating somebody just to have fun. I'm dating because that you
dating with a purpose.
I'm dating with a purpose. I'm trying to get married. So it's like by date 3 or 4, like, hey, let's have these conversations. Like we could have dinner at my house. But we gotta have these conversations because I'm not gonna keep dating you.
I didn't know what's leading.
Right, and I think people don't do that. They just like, oh, she look good on my hip, or he's 6 foot and 2 something, and he got money. That's I like that, and it's like, but you gotta go a little deeper than that.
Yeah, let me tell you, just to kind of swing that up. Let me tell you what's different, dog. Just because I'm divorced, dating looks so damn different. Oh my God, it's so different. Like, I think that back in the day, I'm only used to being married. So I've been married more than half my life. I've been in serious relationships more than half my life. So meeting new people, it's like women have options. Like, okay, well, dating in this context means, well, I'm talking to you, but you're a contestant. You're a contestant. I'm also talking to this other guy, and this other guy, I'm just trying to figure out, kind of like I'm at an item at a grocery store. Yeah, it's weird. It's like weird space. Like normally with me, I'm more of a, hey, I'm interested in you. Let's see what you have to offer. It's more about exclusivity. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. But that's not. I think it's a whole different world. So coming out of the marriage space, it looks crazy. It looks insane.
Look, I told my wife. I said, look, if you ever left me for whatever reason, I will be the loneliest single person. It's too many variables with people nowadays, bro. I'm not gonna get into what those variables are, but it's like it's a crapshoot what you get.
I'm about to wild out. That's what's gonna happen if things don't go down. Just within this, what's it, 2025? 2025 better be right. I'm wilding the fuck out.
Same, man. So we were talking about gender roles, and I think traditional gender roles, like limit the equalities. You know what I mean? Right. And so people got to understand that it's fluid and needs to change, and that doesn't happen without the communication. Like you got to say early, like your wife did, like this is what I'm looking for. This is the purpose I have. But like he mentioned, like I guess we're in, like he's mentioning that we're in a world where people aren't dating with purpose. You know what I mean? So it's like way too late when you find out, hey, this isn't working. We're not equally yoked. Right. Yeah. And so I definitely think that, today you have to have those conversations. Like, this is what the house is going to look like. This is what I bring in. This is what I'm looking for. Yeah. Like now if you get past the point of she's offering this and it matches, then you have those conversations in the household. Like you mentioned earlier, your wife's not cutting the grass. Mine was the trash. It was like, you, as my woman, you are not taking out the trash, right? Like there's kids, they can take out the trash. I'll take out the trash. Like, right. and so, but that doesn't mean that as the woman, like she can't say, hey, the trash needs to be taken out. You know what I mean? Like, but you have to have these conversations in the beginning. These are the expectations that I'm bringing. These are the expectations that I want. Do they match up? Yeah. And so that's going to be different for every household. Right. I don't think there's going to be one answer to, what are the roles and responsibilities. Like, cause like I can say I want one thing, you can say you want one thing, and you can say you want one thing. And then there's 3 different women who are like, hey, this is what I'm looking for. You know what I mean? Like, right. And so does it match? And so you have to have those conversations early and just put it out there. Mm-hmm.
I know how to do that. So one of her thing is like, all right, well, he can't fix stuff, but he still know how to take care of a household.
Understood.
Right. But again, right, she could have been like, nah, my guy, I need you to know how to fix a carburetor. You know what I mean? I need you to know how to do this, that, and the third. But wherever you got to understand what are deal breakers and what are things you can give grace on people.
And so, and I think that's where a lot of people don't like we all have our own unwritten rules.
Yeah.
And so, and like, what does that look like? Like, and so, like, what are the things that you tolerate? So, like, what is a deal breaker for you, Keith?
Let me see. A deal breaker will be more so the communication piece.
Okay.
That's it for me. Like a lot of that stuff is like subjective, and it's that stuff's trivial. Like for me, this communication is my number one.
Okay.
Like I don't go to sleep mad. I don't fight for no reason. Like my peace is important. You know what I'm saying? Right. So going to sleep at night, trying to talk about the issue and not necessarily just talking to be heard. You know what I'm saying? Because like we both want to be heard. We got that, but like how is it addressing the issue? Right? Fact-based stuff. Leave feelings out of it. Let's talk about that, and then we can get the emotional part. So that's one of my. I'm more of a just trying to be whole. You know what I'm saying? Like that's my piece. As far as like cooking and cleaning, I share those responsibilities. I had a question too. So I wanted to find out what you gentlemen thought about the whole 50-50 argument. Like where are y'all with that? And like 50-50 return in terms of a relationship.
Yeah, because there's some people out there that are like will like split the rent.
Yeah, like
everything's split right down the middle.
Nah, not for me. No, like to me is once we come together as one, we do everything as one. If you want to have separate accounts, then you can go be single on your own and be separate.
So what do you mean though, Jeff? Like, cause like explain that for me, please.
So like for instance, like it literally like says it in the Bible, you become one, right?
Yes.
So like your account is my account. You know what I'm saying? Our house, we are in a house together. We have all this stuff together. So I'm not having a separate account. We gonna have one phone bill. We gonna have I'm not doing separate stuff. It doesn't make sense to me. What? That's not to say you can't have your own thing and do your own stuff, but there's no need for you to have a separate account for that.
Ooh, does that apply in dating?
No, dating is different. I'm talking about if you're gonna be married. If you're dating, you're still trying to figure out where you at. And if you get to the point where it's like, hey, let's get engaged, then you can start to have those conversations. But to me, the accounts don't need to be together until you say I do.
So I think what Keith is touching on is some people move in together and they're not married.
Correct.
Now,
so how does that work out?
You're talking from a perspective of traditional, hey, we're married, we live together.
Right,
but there's so many, especially today, there are so many people that we're in a relationship, we go together, we live together.
Yeah, I think the old folk call it shacking.
Shacking up, yes. There are people that shack up.
Shack-a-lacking.
So I think that's what Keith is asking. Does that apply if you're shacking up? Would you still apply by those same rules?
I'm not even gonna lie, I can't even speak to that because I never did that, so I don't know what that looks like. You know what I mean? So I can't say that because I speak from that traditional perspective. Yeah. Like I'm not gonna get with you until we together. So it's hard for me to speak on that.
Have you ever shacked up?
Never.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So yeah, we can't touch on that. So but now
Shake Shack.
Now, but
Radio Shack.
Okay. Say you are married, right?
Right.
And then but you put everything in one pot. So what difference does it make? You know what I'm saying? So I get what you're saying. You put everything in one pot. So, like, if I'm paying the rent, don't matter if it came from my check or your check because both of those checks went into the same pot.
Right.
I get what you're saying. So, so that's why you're saying you're not doing the 50-50. I get what you're saying.
Yeah, but what about you dating? It was like, hey, you know what? Are you paying, or in the dating world, when you were back then, in that time period, are you paying for every date? Every single date?
You know what? Okay. So that's kind of a loaded question. Not meaning, as a man, like,
should you?
You don't have to, but as a man, like, it's like you could do that, but it doesn't have to be every time. Like, does that make sense? What I'm saying? Like, if you, hey, I want to go eat here. Oh, okay.
Is there a rule? Like,
no, I don't think it's a rule. I just think it's whatever your thing is as a man. Like your thing, like if your thing is just like I'm always gonna take care of the woman that's in front of me or whatever, then that's cool. That's your thing. But at the same time, like you gotta take into some people financially are in different situations.
That is a fact.
So it's not that he doesn't want to; he might not be capable of doing it, and you have to understand.
So there's a lot of people that's gonna say, if you're not in that place, you
should be dating.
You should be dating in the first place. Now, I
But
don't
that's
remember
how
if he was.
toxic
I
is
know
that, though?
I know Swan was on this call, but it's funny that you asked that. I don't know if he was on this call, Jeff, but when I had to explain to Devon that it is the man's responsibility to pay for the dates. You know,
I wasn't on that one.
Oh man, because he just didn't. He was like he had just started dating,
Right.
And he's going out, and then he was telling me this story, like she was gonna do this, and I was like, hold on, I get that she asked you to go, I get it. Now she didn't ask you to go to somewhere unreasonable,
Right.
She just asked to go to the movies or something.
Yeah.
But he was like, she's gonna do this, and she's gonna. I was like, no, sir,
Right.
no, and he just did not understand. So. In our group, I just pushed videos, so you may not have answered. I was like, hey, now I can't everybody come in, say, hey, guys, who pays for it? Like, so he had to hear from all the uncles.
Yeah.
He had to hear from everybody. You remember that phone call?
Yeah, I do remember that.
From everybody, and he was just
There's a lot of information, dog.
Yeah, he was like, what do you mean? Like, what do you mean? She asked me, and I was like, it doesn't matter, sir.
Yeah.
Like, as a man.
It's not one of your homies.
Yeah, like as a man, like.
Yeah.
Like it is your responsibility to fit the bill. Now within reason. Now in that same conversation, I told him, I was like, listen, when you get older and you're dating somebody with kids, because there's some videos on social media now.
Bruh, first of all, listen, 3 Stacks said these girls are smart.
Yeah.
They know they can get a meal out of you.
Yeah,
if that's what they want.
That's not even what I'm referring to. Like, I mean, like if we're going out, you know what I'm saying? I'm gonna pay for the meal. I'm gonna do that. Now, like Jeff said, if every once in a while she wants to do it, yeah, I might let her do it if we've been dating for a while.
Right on,
you know
right
so
on.
if we've been dating for a while, I'm gonna let her do it. Like, but at the same
Yeah.
time, I'm not a dater. But I did let him know, like, hey, no, you're responsible.
Yeah.
Like,
Exactly.
even if she asks you to go, like, you're putting the bill, like, you're fitting the bill, you're taking her out, you're showing her a good time. But I had to let him know there are women that out there that's all they want to do, and they will say, hey, I want to order 3 or 4 meals to go for somebody else. Like, you just got to be careful that you're not just getting somebody that are just out there just using
To catch you
people.
lacking,
Because those people exist. Unfortunately, those
Yeah.
people exist.
Yeah,
you
they
had
make it
no
up for everybody
intention
else.
of doing anything with this guy except for getting a free meal and getting a meal for whoever else.
It's called future faking. It's a real word.
Well, I had
It's
a
called
friend-
what?
Future faking.
Yeah.
Future faking?
Yeah, it's a real thing.
I had a friend of mine, man, and it's unfortunate. He told me about this. He making bank, like where he's working at, and he got with this female, and everything was cool. Like they got, it was the whole thing. They not married. They shacking together. Though,
Okay.
right? So they had an agreement. Like, hey, she's like, I know you don't make that much. I make bulk of the money, but you just pay like the light or something like that, and then I'll take care of everything else.
So she is paying all the bills.
No. He let her. He's like, hey, if you're gonna stay here, you can pay like for 1 or 2, but I'll take care of everything.
Oh, gotcha.
Just to kind of keep, like, if you're gonna
Just
stay
keep
with
some-
me, just
yeah.
pay for something. That's
Yeah,
fine.
pay for
Pay for
something.
1 or 2.
Show some grit.
Right.
Yes,
Right.
relationship
So she's
grit.
because she wasn't making a lot. He was making bank, but he's saying like, okay, if you're gonna move in with me, I'm cool. Just pay like a phone bill or something right there, right? Cool. And then like the relationship was going where they go out to eat. He paid for it. It's cool. But then, like, after a while, he started to notice, like, hey, these dates, we starting to go to, like, really high-end places.
Yeah,
Like,
these are your selections.
your dimes.
before it was like, oh, we go to just a random, little spot, eat this. Cool, bill might be $50, $60, cool. But then he started to notice, like, hey, the bill's starting to get, like, $200, $300, $400, $500.
For 2 people.
Right, and he's just like, hey, we need to, like, chill, because there's a lot going on that we trying to, blah, blah, blah. Well, long story short, man, like, she ended up leaving him and playing him, and dude was like mentally, just tore him up mentally and emotionally.
Yeah.
And I was just like, that's just cold, bro.
Yeah,
Like,
it be like that, dog. Unfortunately, it sucks too. It sucks. I've heard that storyline.
yeah.
Man.
Yeah, unfortunately, they are amongst us. This happens.
Yeah.
This happens.
There's on the reverse side of that, a young lady, she was dating this guy, and it was pretty much the same thing. He moved in with her, and so she was taking care of him, like, paying for this, that, and the other. And he was, took like almost half the responsibility.
Yeah.
She had the mortgage, all the heavy stuff, but because she moved in with him, no, I'm sorry, the other way around. Because he moved in with her,
Yeah.
she just kind of took most of the stuff. She came home from work one day, gone. All the stuff. She had a mover. He was playing her from the get go.
That's
Wait, just robbed her?
That's
Yeah,
crazy.
he moved.
Word.
He moved out of state
That's wild.
while she was at work.
That's wild.
That really happened.
That's crazy work.
That's insane, bro. So like that's what I'm saying. Like you just gotta be careful. I guess you gotta know the people. The game has changed, dog.
Well, I mean, when you're saying know your people, like how do you see that coming?
I don't know if you. I mean, there had to be some flags though. And let's be honest. I don't think that even in the worst case, I'm thinking that you've seen something. You know, you've seen something along those lines. I can't speak on her relationship. I'm sure that if she would, we had a conversation with her, she'd be able to tell you those things. But like, that just makes me nervous. Is all I'm saying. Some anxiety for sure. Because it's different out here. It's a different world. So stay married.
That some people, I got you. That some people are like out there to get you. Yeah, I got you. I understand. So that
I blame Sexy Red. I'm just kidding. Sexy, I love you. Get it, sexy.
That was all out of left field. That was all out of left field. And so, like, that brings me to another thought. Like, people that are out there that move to, like, from one relationship to another relationship and are not healed. And so my question is, how do you heal? Like, if you're at the end of a relationship, how do you heal?
Well, it depends, dog. It's just like your awareness. Like, sometimes healing means letting go. Just getting the hell out of it. You ever say, like, I think that the analogy for me was being in a room, right? There's air in the room, but you also know that there's poisonous gas in the room. You can stay in that room all day, right? And you might be able to survive a little bit, but ultimately you're going to have to let that go, or you're going to die. So you choosing not to die is the mental health. Like, you know what? I'm not going to die in this situation. And no matter how good and how beautiful this room is, how good that room's been to you, you have some great-ass memories in that room, but it's poisonous. And sometimes it means you just need to get the hell out that room. That's it. I mean, it's simple as that. It's the most deep-ass simple answer.
Right.
Sometimes you just got to let go. I forget what it was. It was something along the lines of holding on to, what is it? Like, it's like something's burning you. And like it's something along the line, like something's burning you and you like, you want to hold on to it so much, but it's turn your ass up. So like you need to let it go. And so you can heal. Because as long as you got that in your hand, it's you caused yourself damage.
I think Dave Chappelle used that analogy. He was talking about like he went on some trip in Africa or somewhere, and he says one of the things that like the I think it's the Aborigine people or something, I don't know, I can't remember, but he said something along the lines like if they're where they're at, if they want to find water, one of the things they would do is they would use like the baboon because like the animals know like where the watering holes. So like what they would do is they would set up this trap, and I guess baboons love salt, and they would put these salt cubes in there. But here's the thing: the salt cubes they would put are larger than the hole right in the thing.
I remember this.
And so he was saying what the baboon would do is they would put their hand in there, but
trunk.
when they grab it, their fist is too big to pull out. So then the guy will come up and then, but the baboon sees the guy coming and they like, but they won't let go of the salt. So then what they would do is they would capture the baboon, like, and then they would feed him more. They would feed him more salt to make him thirsty, and they would do that for like a 24-hour period. And then after that, they would let him go, release him, and then follow them so they could go find water. That's how they would do it. And what he was saying was because he was using it for his own situation. He was like, a lot of people end up getting trapped because they don't want to let go of the salt. He's like, the baboon wouldn't have got caught and put in the trap if it would have just let go.
Yeah. His fixation on that salt.
Right. He just you wanted this one thing so bad. And when he said that, I was like, damn. I was like, that makes a lot of sense. A lot of people get put in a situation where it's like, man, you just gotta, if you just simply let go, you can be free. But you want this one thing so bad that it's just, you're willing to be captured. You know what I'm saying? And that's tough, because it's hard. It's easy to say let go.
Oh, yeah.
But your inhibitions is just like, but I really want this.
Yeah.
Like, I want this really bad.
Yeah,
Like,
Leonidas Snell, it says something along the lines of realizing freedom. He stepped outside of a door, and he looked back and realized that he was a prisoner all along. You know what I'm saying? So when he stepped out that space, like, oh, shit, that was me in there. Right. So that type of thing. So
let me ask you this question, though. So from a standpoint of, right, like you said, healing, Do y'all think that getting professional help should be normalized for people so they can find a way to heal when they get in their next relationship?
1,019,000,000,000,000,000%.
So then why do you think, I mean, because let's be real, like, from our community, like, professional help and therapy is looked down upon.
Yeah.
Why is that?
Well, because it wasn't accessible.
Okay.
It's accessible and they were frowned upon.
Yeah.
You know, you getting your feelings about something, go in there, go to sleep, go work it out.
Right.
You know, figure out your own problems.
Right.
But not necessarily, we weren't necessarily very forthcoming when it comes to, sharing the things that are bothering us. And so mental health issues, that was not an accessible
Stop
thing.
crying.
Right.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? How many times have y'all gone to therapy in your childhood?
0.
Childhood?
Yeah.
No.
Done. And if you did, you went to the counselor at your school.
Yeah.
And if you did talk to the counselor at school, she just tried to give you a schedule or some shit. It wasn't. It wasn't the same. We can do a schedule change. It wasn't that same type of counseling. So I think that those things not being available definitely had a play into that. But like as an adult, listen. It's so important, especially people who are of melanin or melanated people. Like, go to talk to somebody. There's people who've been through things similar to you. I thought that I had the worst fucking case of life. Mm-hmm. And you're like, damn, that happened to you too? Or damn, that happened to you? That's It makes you feel a little bit, not necessarily better, but it makes you feel comforted knowing that you're not alone.
Right.
So and there's always there's a talk for every single scenario that I've learned personally. And then me just being an advocate of like, I don't want to tell people my problems. I'm good. Mm-hmm. Talk about your damn problems.
Right.
Yeah,
I agree.
Now, I saw it I got the idea from a show, from a TV show, but it was on some TV show I was watching once. And then one of these guys, he was a former, hardhead, you know what I'm saying? Just say, hey, he wanted to make his community better, so he just made a safe place for a circle of guys. You know what I'm saying? And the guys would just come and they would literally sit in a circle and just talk. You know what I'm saying? And so, like, I started it once or twice, you know what I'm saying, like at a school that I was at. And then, attendance was shaky, but, like, let me tell you, man, like, the one or few times that we did do it, literally walked out of there feeling like just
transformative,
like lighter, like feeling like 10 pounds lighter. But yeah, the one of the I did recently, I was talking to a counselor, and they pretty much said the same thing. Because I was like, this is a problem, this is a problem, this is a problem. And the counselor, pointed out like, hey, these problems aren't going to go away until you remove yourself from this situation, or else you're just going to keep coming back. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? But, my circumstances are a little different. Like, I'm still sitting in this situation, and the counselor was just like, until you we have these conversations when you're removed from the situation.
Mm-hmm. Right.
And so, you just gotta, I agree with you. You gotta just let it go.
Yeah, you gotta get out that room.
You gotta just let it go. You gotta get out your own way. Sometimes it's you.